Like at all. I don't know. I don't play Enchantress.
All right. Well,
I mean, I don't know really what can come out, what can go in.
right. I mean, the deck is super tight on slots. It's also not clear you know what all of these cards do.
I didn't actually.
I'm pretty sure if most of these were on the gather random card
No,
game.
I can get them all.
Cool.
I can get them all.
All right. Dubscape.
Dubscape. 3 blue white blue white blue white. Whenever a sorcerer instant is played or non-creature spell is played, you put that many tokens.
Vexing Shusher, you know what that does. And Lightning Tutor, you know what that does.
Yeah.
Ground Seal.
It's the destroy an enchantment or artifact, but it's a green enchantment.
Not even close.
It's an enchantment.
Yes, an Enchantress deck.
Ground Seal.
All right, missed 1 of 15. You know what Wheel of Sun and Moon does?
Yes.
Right? Tormod Script, you know. Choke, you know.
Yeah.
Karmic Justice.
It's a wrath spell.
Nope, not even a little.
Oh wait, no, it's an enchantment.
Well, all right, now we're getting somewhere.
It has like a sweet guy from Arabian Nights on it.
Nope. Sorry, Brad.
It doesn't?
No. All right. Aura of Silence.
Colorless white enchantment, 2 more mana.
Okay.
Extra.
So you don't know what those two do. Let's see if there's any in the main deck.
I know the last 2, yeah.
Let's see if there's any in the main deck you might not know. Replenish.
Bring them all back.
All right. That's good enough for me. Sigil of the Empty Throne.
4/4 beaters.
Okay. Mirror's Gal.
I know all these ones.
Elephant Grass.
Oh yeah, I know that one from that. Elephant Grass. Black creatures can attack.
All right, you know what it does
in
general. Mirror's Guile. What does that do again?
It's top.
Okay,
it's
top. We just learned that game. All right, so Ground Seal is 1G for an enchantment.
I was close.
When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card. And cards in graveyards can't be the target of spells or abilities.
Okay, yeah, I remember that one.
Karmic Justice is white 2, and whenever a permanent of yours is destroyed by an opponent, you get to kill a permanent.
Oh yeah, I remember that card. That was insane.
Yeah.
Like it was like when I was really bad at Magic, I thought it was awesome against LD.
Sure. So, gather a card game, everybody. If you missed it earlier, that was pretty awesome.
It was a ton of fun. All right, so
I mean, real fast. We never actually got to how Williams should be sideboarded.
We have no clue. Let's talk about Kenta.
All right.
All right, so Kenta has 2 Surgical Extractions, a Crucible, and Flusterstorm. Any of that stuff come in? Doesn't seem so.
Well, Flusterstorm definitely doesn't come in.
It's only instant sorceries. Yeah, it seems pretty weak in this matchup.
Oblivion Ring comes in, for sure. It kills an enchantment.
Oh yeah, Oblivion Ring.
Crucible, he doesn't have that many non-basic lands, but being able to loop Wasteland could be good, I guess. Depends how many cards you want to take out. If you're cutting 3 swords to Plowshares, for sure. So, I mean, that's at least 3 cards you can take out. And then you're going to bring in 2 Surgical Extractions and Relic of Progenitus.
Yeah, Relic seems fine.
Maybe Relic.
Cantrips.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything that does with graveyards? I don't think so. Oh, Replenish, right. Yeah, that's kind of a graveyard thing. 2 Surgical Extraction, Relic of Progenitus. I'd bring in those 3. The 4th card would be Oblivion Ring. So I think you bring in those 4. You got the 3 swords, the Plowshares, but you maybe cut a Stifle. Maybe you cut. Spellstorm doesn't have a lot of targets. It might cut a Spell Snare.
It has important ones though, right? Like the Sterling Grove thing.
Sterling Grove is kind of important. It's not insane. Oh, you can hit Enchantress with it. Never mind. Yeah, I just cut a Stifle probably. Like you can hit fetch lands, but there's not a ton of things you can hit with it. And it seems like a fine choice. All right, sounds good. So that's how he's going to sideboard. Well, then I'll talk about how I think William Stevens is going to sideboard, and we can leave Brad Nelson out of it. So I think three Vexing Shusher. Good chance he's going to want those. He can turn on counter magic, especially if he expects Surgical Extraction to be a player. He does have an Enlightened Tutor package and plenty of one of enchantments to go get if he wants to.
Sure.
Choke. Is that any good here?
I mean, no, it's kind of fine. I mean, he does have a lot of like middles and stuff. It's actually probably not that bad, right? Because this isn't like Merfolk where if your islands are shut down, they're shut down.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad. Kenta doesn't have a good way to pick up permanents, so I could see him bringing in those. Maybe one moat goes away. Maybe the Runed Halo goes away. Not sure exactly what you're taking out outside of that, but the game is afoot. So island for Kenta Hiroki, and William cracks fetch land. Goes to get a land.
No stifle.
No stifle from Kenta Hiroki.
It's gotta suck.
It's a forest. Hands it back. Gonna go for a turn 1 enchantment.
All right, no mental misstep.
Yep, nothing to worry about there.
All right, so Utopia Sprawl on the forest. Betty's gonna name a different color than green.
Alright, so we don't know which color he named. Probably white, maybe red.
We might find out next turn.
I'll tell you in a little bit. I'm just very flustered right now. I'll talk about it in a bit, all right? You have to be 23
All right, that's a
and
plains.
younger. What? You have to be 23 and younger. Never mind.
Taps those 3. And there's Enchantress's Presence.
Turn 2 Enchantress Presence.
Yeah,
And there's a Force of Will.
alright, well, you gotta force that.
Yeah, that can't hit play this early.
Absolutely have to force that. And if Kenta finds Surgical Extraction, you can strip all those away. Which is
That's
actually
one
fairly
half of the engine.
Certainly, yeah, that's a big deal. So yeah, forces that, it goes away. Remove Spell Stutter Sprite to do so. Draws a Mutavault, I believe. Mutavault comes down.
All right, and he needs 1 land, then he can get the Jace and maybe start getting a ton of card advantage.
Yeah, and you get so many cards out of that Jace, especially because William can't really interact with Jace very well.
Yep.
He has Oblivion Ring, I suppose, but outside of that, not a lot he can do. Taps 1, 2, 3.
2.
Oh, untaps his. Untaps, taps, untaps. Alright, another Utopia Sprawl.
1.
1 mana floating. See what color he names on the Sprawl. His border doesn't turn red like Magic Online, so.
Should. All right, 2 in the pool.
And
Sterling Grove. Gonna get spell snared. Oh, Ruined Halo.
Ruined Halo. What do you name with Ruined Halo?
Mutavault probably.
Not
Jace.
convinced. I'm not convinced on leaving in the Ruined Halo.
I'm not convinced spell snare in the Ruined Halo. It's a target, sure, but
I think a lot of players get really excited about their counter magic. They like have the situational spell. They're like, I'm not really excited about these spell snares. So their opponent presents it. They're like, oh yes, I will cast this. But in reality, spell snare seems awesome, especially if Kenta has surgical extractions he could use.
Mhm.
You want to be able to spell snare Argothian Enchantress. I would not spell snare that Ruined Halo. I don't think it's very relevant.
it's good advice. I should stop, in limited fleshers and my opponent's turn 2 Goblin Pikers. I'm like, got there.
I mean, you can name Jace with Ruined Halo, but I just don't think getting Fate Sealed out is that relevant, especially because it seems like Williams probably has he's either the agency is going to draw. I mean, you can try and Fate Seal them away, but
All right, let's
Let's
see what
see
the
what he's
card
gonna
is.
play.
Choke.
all right, that's choke. Gonna choke down
And
only one of Kenta's lands, but
that's a big one though.
this is only
Ooh,
blue
Wasteland.
source.
I think he's just gonna. All right, start attacking you for 4.
All right, Mutavault Bash. You're down to 13. New plan. Same
It's a
plan as
good
last
plan.
game. But anyway, I feel like with Jace, you're not going to get Fate Sealed out that often. I mean, I could be totally wrong. I haven't played this matchup before.
I think you can easily get Fate Sealed out if you don't have any action in your hand. They just make sure you don't draw any of it. They give you every single card that doesn't cantrip or get you a card draw engine.
There's Argothian Enchantress. But if they have one in their hand, it doesn't really help you at all because so many other cards are redundant. So it's basically gambling that they don't have an Enchantress in their hand. I just don't know if I would. For example, I would much rather spell snare that Argothian Enchantress.
Well, you have Vendilion Clicks, right?
Sure, but I mean, with the way that game state was progressing, Vendilion Click was less of an issue. I don't know. I mean, obviously, you can always get Fate Sealed out by Jace.
Yeah, I mean, that Rune Halo would have probably named Mutavault, and that's the card that's winning right now.
Our Moat comes down. That'll shut down those Mutavaults. Also, make sure Argothian Enchantress doesn't attack.
I love this format. It's like, the coolest thing I think about it is every single match we see a different deck, and one of them smashes the other one. It's just over and over again, terrible matchups. I just feel like, this deck has no chance of beating Enchantress, at all. Do you have an opinion?
On Blue White? Being
on
Enchantress?
yeah, like in this in this format, it just seems like there's so many matchups that are just blowouts.
Yeah.
Like constantly, there's just like we get a pairing because there's so many decks and so many decks have like good and bad matchups.
Well, I mean, I think often really what it is with the combo decks in particular, the combo decks are really very good at blowing other decks out because either it's a good matchup, they don't have hate for you,
Yeah.
you get a good draw, etc. When two fair decks fight, even when like Merfolk versus Zoo fight, even
Yeah.
though Merfolk is favored or Merfolk is unfavored, it can still win.
Yeah.
But when you've got an insane combo deck, it can be a complete blowout game. And Legacy is certainly full of combo decks. So games can look like blowouts, even though they're just accomplishing their goal earlier. Because Control fundamentally wins on a turn, whereas Combo actually wins on a turn.
Yeah. It's very true. So what turn is Kenta going to win this?
Well, if he wins,
What turn is he going to fundamentally win this?
well, not this turn, that's for sure. If Wizards is going to fundamentally win, he's going to be a long time from now. Perhaps
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a clean fall or something, which he doesn't have. Dealing with all those enchantments, it's a problem. Most people do not come prepared with their enchantment hate, and for good reason, not really the deck you want to prepare for. It's hard to build Enchantress. Moats are expensive, so a lot of players don't have them.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
Yeah, grip full for William Stevens. He has all the things right now.
surprisingly, he's shaking less since he's been dominating.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it was his first feature match, like game one, they kind of had to ease into
for
it.
sure.
It's also possible the judge just gave him a reminder he needed to play a little faster.
Mm-hmm.
And his play has picked up at the pace this game,
Oh yeah,
which is good. A little more reasonable.
he definitely has 3 times the amount of permanents he did by the time last game.
Yeah, and things are looking pretty grim for Kenta Hiroki.
Yeah.
Just drawing cards all over the place, has a completely full hand. Mode is down, so the Mutavault plan doesn't work. Enchantments can't even be targeted because of Sterling Grove.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is Kenta's out here? I mean, he's got one Oblivion Ring.
The exit.
He has one Oblivion Ring, maybe he could get some play with. Otherwise, I mean, he can maybe hope that William messes up somewhere, but with Moat, he can't accidentally sacrifice it. So.
Yeah, no, it's a rough one. I don't really know how he gets out.
I mean, he can build up a board.
I guess technically Batterskull, it's a 5/5, isn't it? Because the 0/0 becomes a 1/1, and then it gets +4/+4.
What?
How does Moat work again?
Creatures without flying can't attack you. You're thinking Humility.
Oh, okay, that's Moat. Okay, I'm thinking Humility. And that's Moat. Creatures without flying can't attack.
Yeah, creatures
All right.
without flying can't attack. Creatures without flying cannot attack.
Oh, there's the win condition.
And there's the sigil, so William should have this game in pretty short order. You just play a bunch of enchantments, get a bunch of 4/4s, and
Say go.
I mean, I was gonna say maybe Kenta has a weird out where he like builds up a board, Oblivion Rings the Moat, and then attacks, but that sigil should lock the game up in the next 2 turns.
I really don't know how you build that board position when Williams is drawing like 10 cards a turn and playing 5 of them. All right.
Alright, so there's a Wrath in Kenta's hand, which is going to buy him a little bit of time, but it's not going to ultimately accomplish anything.
He has a Wrath in his hand?
I believe there's a
Why
Wrath.
would he bring in Wrathagon in this matchup? Just to get their Gothian thingies?
Yeah, I mean, I guess killing the Enchantress is really important.
Sure.
If you cut them off of that, they have Shroud, you can't target them, but if you can cut them off of the Enchantresses, it's going to pass the turn. And William's just going to rearrange his deck with Mirror's Guile. And this turn, I imagine we'll see Kenta concede within 1 full turn cycle. William's going to go off this turn, maybe 2 because he has that Wrath, but William's going to essentially go off this turn, make a bunch of 4/4 Angels. On Kenta's turn, he's probably going to Wrath, William's going to make a bunch of more Angels, and then Kenta will concede. So we're looking at about a 4-turn rotation window for this match.
Yep.
And alright, William draws his card. Thinks about what he's going to cast in what order. Start with Wild Growth probably, that's what I see at the front of his hand. Just want to make sure all your mana gets built up. Alright, so he taps a Utopia Sprawled Forest, double Utopia Sprawled Forest. 4/4 wild growth on a forest.
All right, makes a 4/4, draws 2 cards.
Seems fair for a single green.
Seems like these cards came out like in the last year or two.
And draws 2 cards.
Did he draw or elect not to?
I'm pretty sure he drew. Alright. So is that what enchantment is that?
Enchanted Presence.
At the very bottom of the screen?
Oh, no. What bottom?
Oh,
of the
that's
screen?
Chromox, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so he's got 2 4/4 angels now.
Draws a bunch of cards.
Two Enchantress Presence. Argothian Enchantress. Let's see. Sterling Grove. It's another 4/4. It's building up that 4/4. So William just needs 2 more 4/4s to threaten lethal. Doesn't need to do more than he needs to. I don't know if I'd be drawing all these cards. I'm pretty sure the draw Enchantress is mandatory, or is not
Let's take a look.
mandatory. I don't think Enchantress Presence is mandatory. I don't know if I'd be drawing all these cards. You don't want to risk. Like you're gonna have to discard a bunch of cards at the end of your turn, and if you're just discarding excess enchantments, those are just cards you don't need to have in your hand. I highly doubt it's going to matter, but just something to consider. You don't want to get into a weird situation where Kenta can like wrath you like a bunch of times, and then like you're like, oh, I'm out of resources. Enchantress Presence. No, it is mandatory. How about Argothian? Argothian Enchantress.
Most of them are mandatory back in the day.
Yeah, both of them are mandatory. All right. Well, no choices then. No holds barred. Got to do it. Taps the forest. Utopia Sprawl. And here comes. All right, another Utopia Sprawl. So it gets another 4/4. Gonna draw some cards. So I should have 5. She should have 5 4/4s now, which
Who
is
should?
lethal. I'm pretty sure William should have 5 4/4s. I assume he's keeping track, but I think he gets another 4/4 now. Yeah, there we go. And now that's lethal, so he doesn't need to go for it again. He can certainly just discard, end the turn, see what Kenta could do, which is Wrath in this case. See if William continues to go.
I mean, I don't even think... Can William Wrath?
Kenta?
Can Kento Wrath, I mean?
Alright, he's got a Misty Rainforest untapped.
And does he have... I can't remember if he has 6 suns untapped or 5.
Well, he has a bunch of lands untapped, but most of them are not blue because of the choke.
Mm-hmm.
And he only has 1 plains in his deck, which I don't believe is in play. Yeah, choke lock.
I don't know, I'm not going to lie, I kind of like tuned out a little bit and just start watching after, Williams went crazy right here.
Well, William quite unloaded this turn, did the very Enchantress thing. Alright, now he cracks Enchantress's Presence.
It'd be inappropriate if we played the Gather game right now, wouldn't it?
Very inappropriate.
Yeah, just curious.
But we will play some more Gather game at some
Okay.
point. When we have time. Alright.
That's not many cards left in his library.
Yeah, Words of War he's going to put on top. Now, Words of War does prevent him from decking, though, as long as it's
Yeah.
on the battlefield, because he can just skip all of his draws.
Yep.
As long as he doesn't miss any, he's good. Alright, Words of War on top. Flips back over. And William taps for 3 mana.
I'm going to play a spell to get that Words of War in his hand,
Yep, and then play the words.
if he has still floating mana.
Oh man, so many cards are in William Stevens' hand right now. It's insane. Just looking at another moat. Alright, plays another moat, just in case. Draws several cards. 2, 3. Alright. Maybe he's gonna play the Words at War here. And I'm not sure if William has any mana floating or where he's at exactly mana-wise right now. Alright, Words of War comes down.
Makes another token.
Makes another token. I think he might have missed one somewhere, but alright.
Sure.
Get some more tokens. I mean, you know, at some point it's lethal. Draws a bunch of cards from his enchantresses. And then it's going to pass the turn and let Kenta wrath him. Oh, man. Alright. William has like a hand, pretty sure it's bigger than his deck, so he's got to take a second here to figure out what to discard. And I'm pretty sure half of his hand could probably just be safely discarded without any concern. I was going to play Chromox. I guess, yeah, just put you up a mana. Pitches Argo the Enchantress. Taps for... well, doesn't tap for anything yet.
Alright, pitches a green card.
Taps for green. And yeah, man, William's board is pretty full.
Yeah. And this is like a 10-minute turn.
And this turn, you know, some things happen. Just Affinity eat your heart out. Like you thought your Frogmites were good. All right, plays Wild Growth. He's gonna skip some damage and draw some cards. Oh man. He's out of angel tokens. Had to turn one of his bird tokens into an angel token. Wow. Alright, I think Williams might finally be discarding. Okay, I think he's choosing which cards he wants to keep. Choose 7.
We finally made it to cleanup.
Still resolving cleanup. You know,
how long do you think Kenta's turn is going to be? I'm going to guess 45 seconds.
That long. I see it does. We'll
that long?
He will have to break that fetch land.
That long.
If he has a second source, he will have to break that fetch land. So if I can see that. Counting shuffling time.
Yeah.
Yeah. He tried to untap his island. His island is not untap. I don't blame him for forgetting about the choke either.
Yeah.
But did you know you can take infinite cleanup steps?
What do you mean infinite cleanup steps?
There's a way you can do it in the rules. All right, so William Stevens takes that match pretty handily over Kenta Hiroki.
Yeah.
Enchantress just smashes the Wizards player. And